Hey everybody, it's Jasmine and today I'm continuing my makeup collection series. Now this is a series that I have not touched for, I want to say like almost a whole year now. Ooh, maybe half a year? I'm not even sure when's the last time I did this type of video, but pretty much I dive into my makeup collection and I show you guys a specific category of makeup, whether that be my eyeliners, my lashes, anything like that. And today I want to go into my palettes. Now I have done this one actually before in this series, but since then and since I no longer live with my parents, my palette collection has changed. I've decluttered a lot. There's a lot of palettes where I love at the moment and then some way or another it just doesn't become as practical to me anymore to keep in my collection, so I just want to do an updated version. I have a lot of eye palettes to show you guys, and let's just start with Colourpop. So if you guys watch my videos, you guys know that a few months ago I actually did a Colourpop series where I did 5 different Colourpop palettes for 5 days, and I just finished up another addition to that series not too long ago as well. Now since that series I actually have another Colourpop palette in the mix. So the first one I want to talk about is one of my favorites, and I think it's just a classic. Like if you don't have this palette, what are you doing? It is the Yes Please palette by Colourpop. I did hit pan on this shade right here. It is a used and abused palette by me. I do love the warm tones. I think that this palette is just very blendable. And along with that, I also have the She palette, not necessarily one of my go-tos or favorites, particularly because there's only one row of mattes and the rest are shimmer. Next I have Dream Street. This one is really pretty, but for some weird reason, I feel like I don't get that many uses. I just feel like whenever I use this palette, my looks just all look the same. I don't know. And sometimes I don't want to go in with blues. I don't know. It is good. I love supporting Kathleen Lights as much as possible. She's definitely one of my favorite YouTubers. But my #1 favorite Colourpop palette is the most boring one that they sell. And you know what? Not a lot of people talk about this. Not a lot of people love it. But it's the You Had Me at Hello. And this palette, I have hit pan, major pan on this one. This one is like halfway done. I'm about to hit pan on this one. And I use all of the shades in this palette. Yes, the mauves, the purples. I use this palette like crazy, and I think it's also because it has a mirror included. So I travel with this a lot, and it's something that I feel like, oh, if I just need to get out the house and I need to grab a palette, this is the one I usually go for. The I Think I Love You palette is one palette that I feel like isn't the cutest. I mean, like, it's all nudes, like, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like the She palette where there's literally like 4 shades of matte in here and then the rest are shimmer, and I just feel like the browns in here are not my tones. Like, these are more of like a neutral cool type brown, but I don't know, I just felt like when it came out I was really in for it and I was really into it, but as time progressed I was like, there is so many other nude palettes that I prefer over this one. But if you are into like more of a neutral cool, maybe you'll like this. And then the newest addition to the collection is the Sweet Talk palette. Now this is absolutely stunning. I have a whole review on it on my channel, and I don't know, you can barely see it with the holographic background, but it's all pink peachy tones. I love the variation between the mattes, the metallic, the glitter. I just love how everything is just so different and so unique. Like, you're not just getting one formula, you're getting a multitude of formulas in here. Very stunning, very pretty, and very unique in the palette realm. Now let's start going into my Prism palettes. Now I love Prism makeup. You can still get some of these on the Juno&Co website. I do have an affiliate link for Juno&Co if you're wondering, and that's where I originally bought these. I actually have a whole review. Some of them I do believe like it's not sold on there anymore because I think it's sold out, but I think you still can get it on the Prism website. But these are their Supreme palettes. These are so stunning. They do have their hits and misses as with any palette, so I will talk about it very briefly. Now this is a Supreme Chaos. Very, very colorful. I love this side way more than I love this side. So it's split in half where you have 9 here and 9 here. I love this 9 so much more than this 9. This 9 is all shimmer, and I feel like sometimes it's a little flaky, but this side, so good, so comparable to a lot of other colorful eyeshadow palettes on the market. Now here is the Supreme Femme palette, so you get more into the pinks, the oranges, the rosies. This is something that I feel like a lot of moms or like just anyone who just likes to apply eyeshadow daily and then just leave the house. This is just a really basic palette, honestly. I do get a few uses out of it, but it's not necessarily my favorite. They all perform really well. The shimmers, the mattes, all of it works really, really well. It's just that, I don't know, as far as like color scheme is concerned, I feel like I have way too many of this in my collection, but I still do use it from time to time. And my number one favorite out of these three is this one. This one has traveled with me. I'm going to travel with it again soon. This is the Supreme Seductress. This is what I'm talking about. Now, okay, you're probably thinking like the Supreme Femme was a little bit better than this, but hear me out. I love it because this 9 is all warm tones and then this 9 is all cool tones. So what that gives me, it gives me a lot of flexibility to do a smoked out eyeliner if I need to. I could fill in my eyebrows if I need to. I could do a mix of warm and cool looks day to night, you know what I mean? Like it just gives me a lot more wiggle room as opposed to just staying all rosy or staying all warm. Like it just gives me a little bit more leeway in case my mood switches. So I do love this one. This shade up here, this maroon, has been so abused. The gold shades in here are absolutely stunning. There are 2 gold shades. They both look completely different on the eyes, which is crazy. And honestly, it's just something really nice, and all of these have a really big mirror, so you don't have to worry when you're traveling. You do have that extra bonus in here as well, and I believe I only paid $12 for these. Makeup Revolution palettes come and go in my collection. You know, sometimes I'll really love it for the time being, and then sometimes I'll just let it go. Like I love the iconic palettes, I love the chocolate palettes, but sometimes just the color scheme, you know, sometimes I'll just get into moods and then I'll buy it and then I'll love it for that mood and then I'll just let it go. And honestly, I love the fact that I could do that because their palettes are really inexpensive. And the 2 palettes that have actually stayed in my collection are these 2. Now, the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today, in case you're wondering, is the Emily and Revolution, the Wants palette. One of the best palettes I think Makeup Revolution has ever launched, and to this day, I think that it is definitely one of the palettes that I feel like holds true to just being really consistent. And I love Emily, so it's a big plus that this is a collaboration palette. This one is only $20. You get a huge ass mirror. Hi. And then you also get all these lovely shades that go from light all the way to deep dark, so you can create a lot of looks. Now this one is the TammiX Revolution Tropical Paradise palette. I actually bought this one at TJ Maxx and I think I got it for around $5. So an even better steal. I love that for me. And this palette, it's kind of similar to the Revolution and Emily as far as like coloring is concerned. Like you can see like there's some greens, there's the warm tones, the black, but there is a slight difference. Like this one I feel gets more, the formula itself is a little bit different. This one I just feel like it's a little softer. I feel like I get a little bit more fallout than the Emily one. The Emily one, I feel like I could build and build and build, and then this one I feel like it only goes up to a certain intensity. So a little bit different, but I keep it in my collection, and I like the fact that it also has a mirror as well. I don't know, Makeup Revolution has a lot of really good eyeshadows just in general, so if you are curious, why not just try it? They have some at Ulta, you could use your coupons on it, and I think that's the beauty of it. Like you can just buy and try, and if you don't like it, it's like you didn't really spend a lot of money anyway. Now, speaking of influencers, I have some more influencer palettes. I love supporting other influencers who make an impact in my life some way or another. I sound like they're like gods or something, but I do like supporting other people as much as I can, especially if I do like their content and especially if they make really good quality things. So that one is being Jeffree Star. I know he's very controversial, but I do love his makeup, and without a doubt he makes really good quality makeup without a single doubt. And I really love my Androgyny palette. I got this one for my 21st birthday. Thank you, Jessie, for getting it for me. I'm literally, like, I gag every single time I see this palette. I'm like, ugh, I can't, like, this, I could sometimes, like, I just want to look at it and not use it because the quality is just there. It's so beautiful. I love all the shades. Yesterday, I actually used this palette on my eyes and I really loved how simple it was to just create a simple green smoky eye with this color. Who would have thought? I don't know, just one shade. But having this palette, I really do want his other palettes. I really want the Jawbreaker palette. I think that's on my bucket list to buy because his shadows, his lipsticks, just everything is just so good and so creamy, so easy to work with. I love it so much. And another palette that's also easy to work with and that's also in collaboration with a YouTuber is the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette with Desi and Katie. They are so great. Honestly, I've been watching them since high school. I am old. And when I refer back to high school, I just feel like, damn, I'm really aging myself because it's literally been like 4 years since I graduated. Ooh, so nasty. I hate that. But this is definitely one of the palettes that I love. And the reason why I can tell you guys I love it is because I bought another Friendcation palette, but it's for my client kit. So most of you guys know I'm a makeup artist. That's what I do as my job. Hi, how are you? Mostly for myself, but also I work for another company as a makeup artist. And I love this palette so much that I bought it for my client kit so I could use on other people. And it's just something that I feel like looks good on everybody. Whether you need that pop of blue, whether you need that pop of shimmer, it's just like, it works all so well on the eyes, blends seamlessly into the skin, and overall it just looks great in pictures. It's just one of those palettes that I can't get enough, and I bought 2 of these, okay? That says something, okay? So I hope you guys, if you haven't had it already, I hope you guys wait at least for a sale at Ulta to buy it, or just buy it now if you haven't had the chance to already. If you've been watching my channel since the beginning, like since 2015, the beginning, you guys know my love for Anastasia eyeshadows, and I've talked on my channel a lot about it. I talked a lot about the pros, the cons, literally everything. I talked about how the formula now isn't how it used to be, and that I prefer the old formula, honestly, and I still do that. My opinion on that still holds true to this day, and I just feel like now her palettes just age, and they age to the point where I feel like they blend a little bit patchy and weird, and a lot of you guys know that. When I speak about it, when I speak about my opinions, you guys agree with me. Some of you guys don't. Some of you guys think I'm like a hater, but I've literally been here to buy her palettes since I started using makeup, and I've been a true supporter of her brand like almost like since the beginning, and I feel like I should have a say in my opinion about her palettes because I have so many of them, and I feel like I stopped buying them because the formula for me hasn't really been the best. But maybe I will give it another shot. I still kind of do want the Alyssa Edwards palette. I do love her. So maybe I will just stack up my money to just go buy that one. But today I just want to talk about the Modern Renaissance. This is the only palette that I have in this collection. I do have my Artist Couture, or no, Shadow Couture and Artist palette at the other house. And those ones are so amazing. I did sell my self-made palette, that one. I didn't like that one. There was like 2 mattes in there. Couldn't deal. But Modern Renaissance definitely is one of those palettes where I feel like everybody knows what you're getting. You guys know that this is probably like the game changer in warm tone palettes as far as like high end goes. I did hit major pan on this one, and I am starting to hit pan on the shimmer shades. I do use the darker warm tones, but honestly I do have better warm tones in my collection that I did mention, like with the Supreme palette. I love those ones a lot better in formula than this. But honestly, Anastasia eyeshadows, they kind of fell off the mark for me, but they still are really good, and I mean, they are still kind of worth the hype. I used to actually rave about my Urban Decay Electric palette. That was one of my first colored eyeshadow palettes that I splurged on, and I remember buying it and I remember feeling so accomplished. I bought it on the Sephora sale, the VIB sale, but that was before I was ever VIB. I was literally just a Sephora insider, and I just remember getting it on sale, and I just felt like a queen. But since then, and since that palette is now expired, I have been diving into other colorful palettes, and one of them is the Zulu palette from Juvia's place. Now, I really like this because unlike other colorful palettes, this one kind of stays a little bit more bright, a little bit more fun, and not as deep dark. Like, you don't see dark blues, you don't see like really dark pinks, you get a dark purple, but that's like as far as like darkness is concerned. Like, you don't get a dark green. I love the fact that it just looks bright and warm and just in your face. I love that about it, and I just feel you can get so many different looks. I love the amount of shimmers, and I love the shimmer selection. Now, these two and this shade right here are shimmers, and then the rest are mattes. I love the fact that you can kind of get like a more wearable look up here, and then like have a nice pop of color down here if you're just into that. But this is really good, and I love the fact that they sell it at Ulta now. So I do have a backstory on this palette. Now, I actually have this palette as my backup palette. I used to actually have like a bag of makeup that I would just like toss in my car or anything like that, and I kind of just dug this one out because I felt like maybe I just want to use it again, and it is expired. It definitely is expired. This is the Balm Voyage palette. This is a limited edition palette. They don't make this anymore, but I wanted to show you guys what's inside. So you guys get 9 eyeshadows, and then you guys get the face products, and then you guys get the lip products that are so crusty now after years of just sitting out. Like, it's so nasty. Like, I can't. It's actually embarrassing. I hate that for me. But this palette is just like a neutral palette, and I love the fact that the Balm actually continues to make palettes that are strictly eyeshadows or strictly just face palette or face colors. And sometimes they have deals where they do have bundles where you get everything from the lips, eyes, cheeks, everything. So the Balm is something that I feel like if you're starting to get into makeup and you need something good quality, definitely look into them. Like, they're a really good brand and they're really affordable, and I think I got this one at Nordstrom Rack, so I got this palette for around like, what, 15 bucks? A great steal. I do have a couple palettes from the brand Alter Ego. Now, they are an indie brand, and they have sent me these palettes, and I have a lot of opinions to talk about because they are indie, and I feel like they imitate a lot of the other high-end brands. So I just wanted to just talk about it because you guys have seen these on my channel before. So I want to talk about their Goddess palette. Now, this is a dupe for the Natasha Denona palette. It's definitely not Natasha Denona quality. I haven't tried Natasha Denona quality, but I have swatched Natasha Denona. I've swatched Miss Natasha, and this is nowhere near. Natasha is a lot more buttery, a lot more creamy. This one, I feel like when you get into the darker mattes, it does start to dust off and it's not fully pigmented, and I think that's the problem with a lot of their other shadows that I'm about to talk about. I just feel like when you get into the dark shades, you expect it to be really dark, pigmented, but you don't really get to see that when you're blending it. Once you blend it, you kind of blend it off your eyes, so you get the best color payoff when you're patting a shadow on, like a shimmer or something like that. But they are pretty good palette. Like, these range around $15. So if you're getting into makeup or you want to try a color scheme of an expensive palette, maybe this might be good for you. Maybe this is something that you might really enjoy. Now, the other palettes that they have sent me are their Daydream palette, which is the Huda Beauty nude palette. Yes, nude palette. This is a little bit lackluster as well, like I said about the pigmentation problem. And then also their Temptress palette, which I think is the best quality out of all three of these. I feel like this one is very consistent through and through. The mattes, the dark mattes here, they actually show up really pigmented. This is definitely an exception to the other one, so if I want to recommend something, I recommend this one out of the three. And this is the dupe for the ABH Sultry. This is definitely a lot more stiff in texture than the ABH ones. ABH has a little bit more fallout. This one stays more intact into the palette. Now the next palettes I actually got from Juno&Co, but they no longer sell these, I believe, on the website. I might be wrong. I think they might still have this one. This one is their Summer Nights palette. I barely use this one simply because I feel like it's a weird scheme of colors. I will casually dive into this for like the shimmers, but you get like a strawberry shimmer, a silver, a gold, a yellow gold, a purple, and then a blue shimmer, and then the mattes just are like all over the place in undertones. So I feel like if I need something very specific, then I'll go into it, but I don't want to throw this out. This is still a really good quality palette. I think it ranges around like $10. Now when I first started using Juno&Co and when I first started, you know, really diving into their brand, I got this palette, and this is their Ever-Changing palette. It's by the brand Focallure. This still is just the best. Like, this is still one of the best palettes I ever tried from their website. I don't know why they stopped selling it. Juno? You need to bring this back because this palette is amazing. Like, this palette has an array of like colors, but then also nudes, and they all flow together. Like, this palette just all gets the job done, and I have so many tutorials using this palette on my channel. So if you are interested, definitely look up the Ever-Changing palette because it's actually so good, so pigmented. You get like no fallout, and I love it. I need another one. Alright, we are nearing the end of this video, so bear with me. I want to quickly talk about the Sigma Warm Neutrals Volume 2. I did have the original Warm Neutrals, but honestly that one was like not even warm at all. So I do have their volume 2, and this is actually so nice. Now I used to actually use this religiously for like 2 to 3 months, and then I kind of stopped because I was like, I'm actually getting a little crazy and I need to get into my other palettes. So I haven't used this one in a minute because I kind of took a break from it, but it's so nice, so pigmented, so buildable. The shimmers are amazing, and you can create a multitude of looks with this. I feel like if you don't like the formula of the Modern Renaissance, try this one. I do have a coupon code with Sigma in case you don't want to pay full price. It's my username, Thats.so.yin. I always have any like codes in the description box just so you guys can save money. I should add this in here. I am never going to be affiliated with a brand that I am unfamiliar with. I cancel a lot of brands via email where, you know, they want me to be an ambassador, where they want me to be an affiliate, but I just say no. I literally say no, and that I only can be an affiliate with brands that I know and I have used and that I love. So I am an affiliate with Sigma, I'm an affiliate with Juno, ShopMissA, Real Her, you know, and I really do love their products. So just letting you know that I stay loyal to the brands that I love. So with that being said, I do want to talk about my ShopMissA eyeshadows because I have a lot. I have like 9. Let's talk about their 25 pan palette. I should have a tutorial for all of these on my channel, but I am going to expand my series where I use all the palettes for a week. So I do have XOXO, which is pretty much like your warm tone nude palette, one of my personal favorites. And then you have Immersed, which is going to be your rainbow palette, pretty nice. You do get some iridescent shades in there as well. And then you get your Bare palette, which is going to be like your neutral palette, like all neutrals, some cool, some hints of warm in there, but mostly all neutral. And then you get your Vanity palette, which is going to be like all purple based. And this one actually looks really dirty because when I received it, it was broken. So I tried to repress it. So there are a lot of purple shades. A lot of the browns have purple and plum undertones. So if you're into that, then this one's perfect for you. They do have their 9-pan palettes, and I just finished my series where I use all 5 for 5 days. So if you missed that, definitely go check that out. But I do have their Wildflower palette here. You get pinks, greens, yellows, oranges, really, really pretty. Definitely flower tones. And then you also get Date Night, which is going to be like your cool tone palette with hints of warms from the red and orange here. Definitely really pretty to work with, and I love the contrast between orange and purple. Super pretty. Now for the rest of their 9-pan palettes, I actually just popped them into ShopMissA's bigger palettes. I just depotted them. So these are the ones here. This one right here, this 9 is Imma Beach, and then this 9 is Love Child. And then on the bottom here, I just have my Glam by Carly Cosmetics, now named Twenty.Nine.Eleven.Cosmetics single eyeshadows. These all retail for like $2.99 each, and then sometimes they go on sale for $1.99 each. So really cute, really stunning. I have all of them on the bottom row there. And then in this palette, this 9 here is the Foxy palette. And then by row here of 4s, I have the Colourpop Heavy Hitter, Gemini by Night by Colourpop, Colourpop I Love Sadie Saucy, and then I have some various discontinued ShopMissA single shadows that they no longer have on their website. And then these last 3 are my collaboration eyeshadows with Glam by Carly Cosmetics, or now known as Twenty.Nine.Eleven.Cosmetics. So these are all 3 of my collaborations. I have Peace Out, Ma'am, and Thank You So Much. That's how I say it. Thank you so much. Like when someone is just really irritating me and they just need to leave, they gotta go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. I'm over it. Have a nice day. Thank you. So I hope you guys all check those out. They still have some in stock, I believe. They do sell out pretty quick, so whenever Carly restocks, she usually sells out. So definitely go follow her Instagram and definitely go check out the collaboration eyeshadows. They're $2.99 each, and you can also buy them as a bundle. And just like that, you guys, are upset my whole entire palette collection, my eyeshadow palette collection. Hope you guys all enjoy. I hope you guys didn't mind my little nasally sick voice. I'm still sick. Can you believe that? I hate it. But I hope you guys all enjoyed nonetheless, and I will totally see you guys in my next one. Bye! Peace out, Girl Scouts.